Hey, Joe, Lindsay Theory from ESPN. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, we're just wondering if you can kind of take us through the process of what it was like connecting with Sean McVay and interviewing for the job and essentially getting out here.
Well, it was, obviously we had the rough year in Jacksonville, but I kept in touch with Coach McVay over the years. Ton of respect for him. You guys have built a great thing, or they built a great thing out here, and I was really, really jacked up to be part of it. So it worked out great, and got a lot of respect for a lot of people in this building. It's been built the right way.
And have you had a chance to connect with a few of your guys on special teams, like maybe Johnny Hecker or some of those guys?
I've talked to Johnny. I've talked to Matt Gay, Jake, and then a couple of new signings. And then, I'm going to try to work my way through the rest of the team. But saw Aaron Donald today, probably the greatest player in the world, which was awesome to see. And, hopefully start to make connections with some of those guys.
Maria?
Hey, Joe, welcome to the team. I'm Maria Sorrell with Cox TV. Joe, you've had a lot of success coaching special teams. What is sort of the secret to your success, and what's the biggest challenge?
Well, I've been doing it a long time, obviously. I would say the secret to success is, my father-in-law is Coach Reeves, Dan Reeves, so that was a long time ago. But he told me to be myself. That was one of the biggest things that, he talked about. So I've tried to follow that as much as I can, be as passionate every day as I can, and just enjoy the job. That's really what it's all about. I don't feel like I've worked a day. So it's been a great ride, and hopefully we can continue it right here and get another Super Bowl win. That'd be nice. I'd like to get one of those again.
Very good. Thank you.
Stu?
Hey, Joe. Stu Jackson with therams.com. Kind of a similar question to Maria, but obviously you've been coaching special teams in the NFL for a long time and had success at several of your stops. What were some of the core foundational principles in terms of special teams that you learned early in your career that have allowed you to, like I mentioned, just have the success that you've had to this point in your career?
Sure. I think, just like offense and defense, it's no different from the standpoint of the quality of players you have. The more talented, the better player you have out there on Sundays, the better chance you got of success. So that's the first thing. It's all about the players. The NFL is a player's game, no question. Against the field as much as we can in coverage, which means, just trying to put it in small areas, which we've got a great punter to do that. And, the kicker, I think, is going to get better as we go. And then return game, you want to spread the field, make it as wide as you can, get as many gaps as you can for, your return team, and then get a great returner. We've got to get, a guy that can ring the bell and drop the ball over the goal line. That's what we're dropping it at.
Kevin?
Hi, Joe. Kevin Modesti. I cover the team for the LA Daily News, Orange County Register, and 9 other papers in Southern California. Good to meet you. What is John Bonamigo's role, if any, specifically related to special teams now?
Yeah, I think that's probably a question for Coach McVay. That's something that I'm sure he's working through. I have a ton of respect for Bono, known him a long time, so that's probably a better question for Coach McVay.
Mm-hmm. What did you see of Johnny Hecker's performance this past season? I think his punting average was his career low, although that's a pretty high bar, obviously, to judge against.
Yeah, I still think he's, I think if not the top punter in the league, he's one of the top punters in the league. Sometimes you just get in situations where you may be in different parts of the field where you're not able to drive the ball as far as you did in certain other years. So that's part of it. We're going through all those stats and all those metrics right now, trying to figure it out. But I think he's a great punter, and hopefully next year he has a better year. That's what I hope. That's where our goal is.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jordan?
Hey, Joe, Jordan Rodriguez with The Athletic Los Angeles. Nice to meet you and welcome to Southern California. Not much temperature difference, but the humidity sure is different, I'm sure.
That was awesome. Just went for a little walk. That's why I was late. I apologize.
I wanted to go back to your philosophy on especially developing good kick and punt returners. First of all, what did you see on tape so far as you've dug into it from the Rams' performance in that phase? And second of all, what are some key qualities and characteristics you look for as you assess new talent and those sort of development potential items?
Yeah, we're still evaluating the return game. You know, we really, it's just me right here now, but I think one of the things that you got to really evaluate as much as anything is the better the blocking schemes are and the better holes you have to run through, the better the returner is going to be. Now, where you get special is when it's a guy that has Devin Hester type ability, those type of things that's where you can really become special. But we've got to make sure that we get the holes open at the start, and then, you know, hopefully we can get the right guy back there, and it might be the right guy that we have right now. You know, he's a young guy, and hopefully we can get him up to speed and get him a little bit better than he was last year.
And then when you talk about special teams and coach it as a philosophy, how do you get guys to, particularly when they're young and developing in the league, buy into the concepts of special teams and more so even learn that language and be passionate about that language?
Yeah, I think it starts with the organization. It starts with, you know, the guy at the top, and with Coach McVay here, I know how important it is to him, you know. But I think you just have to develop a relationship with the players, which obviously that's a little bit harder in the Corona days right now, but it's definitely doable. And I think you can get a relationship started with them, get them to trust you, and then all players want to have success. All players want to be shown how they're going to be more successful, whether it's for team success, whether it's for individual success. No matter how you do that, a player is going to respond to that. And some of the guys that are younger at the start won't get it, but they will. I can promise you that.
Kurt.
Hey, Joe, Kurt Sandoval from ABC7, and probably the most important thing, an Arvada, Colorado native.
There you go. What school did you go to?
I was on the other side of Sheridan, so I went to Westy.
Okay, I got you.
We could talk about that later. Hey, you mentioned COVID. What's the challenge because so many young guys play special teams? What's the challenge with when, like last year, guys didn't come in and some of these COVID restrictions of really developing as much as you can when sometimes it's more Zoom than on the field?
Yeah, it was tough. But you know, you just have to make the most of those times that are on the field. You know, your drill work, all your technique work has got to be spot on. It's got to be, you know, really, really focused, and you got to get those guys going in the right direction. But, you know, just like everything else, if you're successful at what you do from a coaching standpoint, you know, you figure it out. You know, I'm 55, but I can run the Zoom pretty well, and I can figure out how to meet with them on those platforms, and you know, we'll figure it out.
And obviously, I remember back 10, 12 years ago, you were in that horrible situation in Dallas where the balloon came down, and if you had surgery, do you have any residual effects to that? Did that change the way you approach life, approach coaching?
You know, residual, am I sore? Do I have a lot of metal in me? Do I have some stuff that, you know, is tough to deal with? Yeah, but a lot of people do. So, you know, that part of it I'm not too worried about. I would say probably that experience made me enjoy coaching even that much more, because they told me that, you know, there's a good chance you're not going to walk. Good chance you may not be able to coach anymore. So getting out of that and seeing the world on the other side, it gave you a good, fresh perspective. Hopefully I was a better coach, a better husband, a better father, and you see things a little differently when you go through some tough times like that.
Yeah. Joe, appreciate it. Congratulations on the new job.
Thank you, man. Go Arvada.
We'll go with Gary.
Hey, Joe, Gary Klein from the Los Angeles Times. You know, Johnny Hecker and Jake McQuaid have been, you know, part of this special teams unit for so long. And now Jake, a pending unrestricted free agent, if he is not back for financial reasons or whatever, how difficult is it to break in a new long snapper and for field goals and punts and kind of get that worked out?
Well, unfortunately and fortunately, the last 2 years, I've had to go through that with snappers. We got a young guy 2 years ago, and then we got another young guy in Jacksonville this year that actually beat him out. So I just think, you really have to get the right one. You have to do a hell of a job of making sure that the personnel knows exactly what you want and get the right guy. And, hopefully we'll be able to get through that. On the other side of it, though, Jake is a great long snapper in this league. Part of the reason that Hecker's been successful, part of the reason that the Zerline was successful here was because of him. So a lot of respect. And again, the finances, they'll just have to work those things out. And hopefully he'll have a chance to come in here and compete because I think he's excellent.
Thanks very much.
All right, and we'll wrap this up with Greg and then Eric.
Hey, Joe, Greg Beecham with the AP. Nice to meet you. The Rams have a pretty long recent history of really outstanding special teams play under John Fossil. And one of the aspects of that was John was a very aggressive coordinator in terms of like trick plays, things to keep the other team on their toes, that kind of thing. Last year, Johnny Hekker didn't throw a pass. High school quarterback was very disappointed. What's your general attitude on trickeration and stuff like that, having that in your arsenal, in your repertoire?
Trickeration, that's a great word, by the way. I like that. I'm going to steal that for sure. It depends on the situation. I think it depends on what the head coach's plan is, what your team plan is. You want to play complementary football as much as possible. Sometimes they come up, sometimes they don't. In Jacksonville, we were very successful the last few years doing that. And, I know having the talent that John has, I hope we're able to, continue the trickeration. That's what I hope happens. So we'll see what happens.
And I noticed that Jalen Ramsey took some special team snaps for you while you were together in Jacksonville. What can you tell us about him and that experience coaching him?
Well, he might be 1A and 1B as far as the greatest players in the world, but he's a great dude. I mean, I know he's passionate and he wants to win football games. That's what Jalen's all about. So I know he'll do whatever we ask of him, and he'll do it as hard as he can, as fast as he can. So I love Jalen. I'm glad to be back with him.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
We'll wrap this up with Eric.
Hey, Coach Eric Williams, Sports Illustrated. Congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome. You've been doing this for a long time, so wanted to know, in your early days, what attracted you to coaching special teams, and then who were some of your early influences when you first started coaching?
Yeah, I really thought I was going to be a strength coach. That's really what I thought I was going to be when I started. And then we had some stuff in the staff in Denver. The first time I was in Denver, that we had a guy that was doing some other jobs, and that's when Coach Reeves said to me, "Hey, I want you to try to start helping out a little bit." And I was more like a GA, really, my first few years. And it just went from there. I went to the Giants as the special teams coordinator, and after that, it's been quite a ride. But I would say the first thing is Coach Reeves. He really paid a lot of attention to it and was instrumental in getting me started that way. A guy named Mike Westhoff, that was one of the famous special teams coaches. He's actually writing a book right now that I've read a few chapters in. But he was probably the one that helped me the most as far as schematically. And then all the way through, there's a lot of guys. Joe Avizano was a big help to me. A lot of the older guys shared, and hopefully I'll be able to share with the young guys the way it is right now too, just not too much. You don't want to give them everything.
And then what makes a good special teams coach?
Well, like I said earlier, players, the better your players are, the better coach you're going to be. I don't care what position you have. But I think the passion part of it needs to show on the field on Sunday. They need to feel that. Your players need to feel that, and they need to buy into what you're selling. You got to be a great salesman, and hopefully we can get that done here and get this thing cranking in the way it needs to be.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.